Alright guys, so I've got another squad builder for you today, and this one of course is going to be around the pink cards. So we'll put them in. We do use all three of them in this team. That's why we are using a 3 at the back. So I will say it before this team starts. I know a lot of people don't like players, don't like teams with filler players in where you need to substitute them out straight away, but this team does contain a player which, at least for me, in every game I've substituted him out really early on. So if you guys don't want to do that, you might not be interested in this squad builder. But it is actually a pretty fun team. We won 3 out of the 5 games that we did play. The last game, which I've just played, that we lost 2-0 to a guy with a pretty much full red team. So there's no shame in that loss. And the other loss, I think it was I think it might have been the first game that I played, and I think we lost like 3-1 or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, in the games that we won by quite a few goals. So we've got some pretty fun gameplay, and obviously we are using a 3 at the back team. It's more of a fun team than a winning team. But anyway, we are going to put the goalkeeper in first off, and this is also a very cheap team. We do go with Romero. You can obviously pick up De Gea if you've got the coins. I didn't have the coins left over, and it wasn't worth spending, I don't know what he goes for, like 50, 60k on a goalkeeper. Romero actually did a pretty decent job. The first CDM that we go with on the right hand side is Seri, someone who's got a team of the season if you guys have got the coins. But he's a pretty good card, I've got to be honest. For a high medium, I set him to stay back while attacking, and that's exactly what he did. He was actually a really enjoyable and just usable card, a very good card, and I'd like to try out his team of the season. And then we go with Nzonzi, who is just a beast this year, guys. I really enjoyed him, and for 1400 coins, for an H3 rated as well for investments, he's absolutely ridiculous. One of the better players in this team, in my opinion. His height wins everything, and he's just a fantastic card. Then on the left mid position, we do get him the perfect link with Sami and Nasri. Nasri overall wasn't that bad, to be honest, in this team. He didn't do a lot for me. His 4-star skills do help him with being, like, obviously quite a slow player. But obviously, if you can get a better player, if you don't want to use Umtiti and you can get better replacements, I definitely recommend it. Nasri isn't the greatest card on the game. But in at right mid, we do go with someone who's pretty much just a really well-rounded beast, and he really helped this team by dropping back. It is Ricardo Pereira. 5 games, 1 goal, high work rates. Obviously, he's naturally a right back, I'm pretty sure, but he was fantastic for this team. Being a 3-5-2, he suited it so well. The way that he dropped back, he was just a really enjoyable card. And how much did it cost us? 14,000 coins. That's ridiculous for how good of a card he is. Then at cam, we go with the filler player, someone who I substitute out pretty much instantly in every game, and it is this guy. It is Aceric, I can't really pronounce his name. He doesn't look too bad of a card. I just didn't really want to test it out. Obviously, when we're using a 3-5-2, we need a good attack. This formation depends on a really good attack. Obviously, lacking in defense, you want to outscore your opponent. So what I did, I substituted him out either for my 86 rated Inform Insigne or my 86 rated team of the group stage at Fekir. I rotated between those two, so they both had fitness. Then we go with the front two, and on the right hand side, on the left hand side, we do go with Niang, and on the right hand side, we do go with man of the match Silva, who is a beast. People sleep on this card. He is fantastic. I really enjoyed him. 5 games, 5 goals, really good, really just overall well-rounded stats. A hunter, a catalyst, any chem style you guys can put on him will suit this card. I went with a finisher. I feel like it's more my style to usually go with pace, but I wanted to try him out for what he was, someone who's very strong, not the fastest, and got really good finishing, and it worked really well for me. And obviously Niang, he's just a bit of a beast this year, but as you can see, didn't get a goal, got 4 assists. I'm pretty sure the majority of those assists were to Silva. This card, I really enjoyed him for 18,000 coins. I definitely recommend you try him out if you've got a Calcio 18. But anyway, guys, this is the team. Very cheap overall. Obviously, you can get the regular back 3 if you want to try it out and you didn't do the SBCs. Quickly before we get into the highlights though, guys, I just want to say I'm sorry for being so inactive over the last couple of days. A lot has been going on, which I'll talk about more in detail in a later video. But anyway, guys, let's get into the highlights. Alright, guys, so let's get into these highlights. This team was a very enjoyable team, and I feel it was quite overpowered. We lost the second game 3-1 to a guy who was a very good FIFA player, so I couldn't take anything away from the team from that. Obviously, it was a well-deserved loss, and the final game that we did play, we lost 2-0 to a guy who had a full red FUT Champions team. So yeah, again, I take no shame in losing to players who are good. Obviously, if it's the team's fault, I'll know. If I feel like I'm better than the player and the team's letting me down, I'll point that out. But this team did not let me down in the slightest. It was a very enjoyable team, really fun to use, I think, like, in my opinion. And the 3-5-2 is like, really, it's just such a fun formation, and it actually works this year. And I haven't seen anyone, especially like the bigger FIFA YouTubers, use this formation, so no one really uses it on FIFA. Obviously, I mean, like, the bigger YouTubers haven't really promoted it as, like, if you know what I mean. It's a weird one, obviously. When at the start of the game, when 4-3-2-1 was like the go-to, I felt like I learned that from other YouTubers, and that's why I was using that formation. So it'd be interesting if like any of you guys go away and try this formation and tell me what you think of it, because for me, I had a lot of fun using this formation, and it was a very good team. I feel like in this formation, the one thing that really matters is the right mid and the left mid, depending on who you get. I feel like you need someone who can drop back. For me, I had Ricardo Pereira, who was absolutely fantastic. He dropped back for me and he saved me quite a few times. Obviously, we did have Bayou's got that high attacking work rate. I'm not sure on Umtiti's work rates, and I think Smalling is a medium high, so he worked out pretty well. But this formation, it really does work. I'd recommend it to you guys every single day just to give it a try. Obviously, it's not going to be a FUT Champions worthy team, however, it might be a daily knockout worthy team. I feel like you could win a daily knockout relatively easy with this. Obviously, daily knockouts are very easy as it is anyway, but obviously with the prizes what EA are giving out now, it might be a little bit more difficult, but I think there's still a 1-win cap on there, so obviously if you wait a couple of days, it's still going to be relatively easy. But this team was actually really enjoyable to use, and the players in there were quite fun as well. Obviously, we did substitute out the cam for either Fekir, his team of the group stage, or for the 86 rated first in form Insigne. Obviously, if you've got better subs, say you've got an untradeable Ronaldo in your club, you can put him on the bench and sub him in. It doesn't matter who you substitute, it's a player of your choice. For me, it was there between Insigne and Fekir. But anyway, we are at the end of the video, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, make sure to drop a like on it. And as always, guys, make sure you all have an absolutely incredible day. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and peace.